Welcome to Friday Drift Tips, hosted by the Drift Podcast.
Drift Podcast.
I'm here with Trav, and today we're talking about suspension components. And we know this is not a drift car, but it applies because
It's in the air.
same. It's all the same, and it's in the air. Drift cars go through an insane amount of, front end grip and forces that it's not supposed to go through. So it's important to always check your suspension components, because I've had many cars come through work. Nothing's ever been checked on them, and they're all just finger tight. And literally like 3 threads away from falling apart. So it's always important to check them after every second event, would you say?
Yep, I would say every 2 to 3 events you should check them.
Just run a ratchet over it, make sure they're all tight. And just check for free play, because you're going to start feeling it after a while, and stay safe.
Yep. Ben's a wheel aligner, so he does this stuff for a daily job, so pay attention to what he says. He knows what he's talking about.
Start off with, we're going to check for ball joint and bearing play, along with rack end and tie rod play. So it's real simple. We're checking for steering input play. You start either side of the wheel and wobble it. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but that's got a fair bit of movement in it. Now, something like that you don't need to really be overly concerned about in a drift car, but if this is happening, it's on its way to becoming really, really bad. So if this is on your car, consider replacing your rack ends, your tie rods, and even check your steering uni joint. And if you have an S13, replace the steering bush with a solid one. They're all over the internet. You can find them anywhere. So yeah, basically let's rip this off and get a bit more into it. Now that we know that your ball joints and for the most part your strut is fine, it's always important to keep an eye on the pillow ball up here. You'll hear it more than you'll see it. If you're driving down the road and you can hear an audible knock, you know your coilovers are well and truly on the way out. Time to go buy some new ones. Always check the bolts up here to be tight, because this will ruin your alignment quicker than anything else if they're not tight, because you'll hit a bump and it'll just move your camber all the way in or all the way out. And all of a sudden your steering wheel's upside down and you hate life. Always important to check your LCA bolts down here. And in a drift car's standard, we always usually have our caster rods coming to the front. Always check them for free play, because you wheel them back and forward in the wheel well, and it'll just make a whole lot of bad steering. So another important thing to note is if you adjust your camber through the bolts here, to make sure that your wheel doesn't hit the coilover. It's happened many times, and that'll ruin your day. So just double check it. Another thing to always be mindful of is your sway bar end links. They can go and they make a horrible sound. They also give you terrible fucking steering feedback. So, and that's, the general gist of everything you need to keep an eye on. While you're down here on suspension, it helps to always check your brake lines and make sure your wheels don't hit them. Because we've had a few instances of cars losing brakes, especially at Archerfield with the big entries we have. Check your brake lines and make sure your wheels don't hit them. So yeah. Other than that, stay safe and keep your car in check. It's not hard to go and check it. It really takes only 10 minutes after every third event. Just go run a spanner or a ratchet over each bolt and make sure you're all sweet. Because the last thing you want to have happen is suspension fail. There was a couple of cases at Archie the other day where wheel nuts and a few suspension components came loose, and it's not fun for other people and it's not fun for you. It's really, really not fun for you, so just double check everything.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. This has been your Friday Drift Tip, and make sure you check your suspension components regularly and run bolts over them. If you suspect of your suspension making any kind of a noise while you're out on the track, make sure you pull into the pits and have a look at it, find out what's making the noise, and fix it. Don't risk it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It has.
Alright, catch you next Friday.